Good morning, Culers. It is time to wake up and Barca live Barcelona news coming at you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Undefeated channel. We are back to our regular schedule. I'm back from vacation, and there is so much to catch up on. There are new transfer rumors involving Barcelona and Chelsea. There are new players for Barcelona signed and presented. And of course, Barcelona have our brand new number 8. We're going to catch up on all those headlines plus more. I've got a whole laundry list of things that we need to talk about. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can be part of that conversation as we have a little bit of caffeine, some good conversation, and catch up on all the news coming out of the Camp Nou. Let's go ahead and kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
All right, we're here. It is time to wake up and Barca. Good morning to you all. Let's start out with the big headline. Jump over to Twitter here, announced by Barcelona and everybody covering Barcelona news. It's the hot topic today. Pedri is officially confirmed as Barcelona's new number 8, taking over from Dani Alves following a long legacy of historic number 8s. Not just Dani Alves, who, of course, was paying homage to some of those other ochos, but Stoichkov, Iniesta, the list goes on. I am today wearing, in honor of the occasion, my 2016-17 Andres Iniesta kit from the Camp Nou, by the way. This is a very special kit to me. I was in Barcelona, got to go to 2 matches, got my Barcelona tattoo while I was there. It was an amazing trip for my wife and I, and got to get this Andres Iniesta kit from the Camp Nou. So in honor of the new number 8, I've got my Andres kit on. I'm very excited for this. I am going to be getting a Pedri kit. It won't be the home kit. I still haven't quite decided who's going to be on the back of my home kit this year, but number 8, golden kit for the golden boy, Pedri, going on the back of that one. We'll see what I do for the 3rd kit and a rumored 4th kit for La Serena. We'll see what happens there. I digress. What do we think, folks? Let's start the conversation there. Let me know in the chat, or if you're watching on replay, let me know down in the comments. How excited are you, scale of 1 to 10, for the new Ocho, the young golden boy, Pedri Gonzalez? Very excited for me. I'm at a 10 on this one, folks. Couldn't have gone to a better player. Sad to see Dani Alves leave, of course, but the fact that number 8 goes back to a midfielder, someone with tremendous potential, but is also performing at an elite level right now today. Could not be more excited for the new number 8, Pedri. Let's go, Visca Barca! Good morning to you all. Let's go ahead and get caught up on the chat, okay? You may have seen I've got at the top of the screen there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different tabs open, folks. Okay, that's how many things I'm going to try to get to today. There's a lot to discuss. Let's see who's in here with us, get the conversation going, say my good mornings, and then we'll catch up on all the other headlines, all right? New players, new rumors, all kinds of stuff to talk about. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Sem. Felipe's in here with us. Michael Talks Football. Hello, sir. You've been putting out some great content recently. For those of you that are not familiar with Michael Talks Football, covers a wide variety of topics in the world of football. So check out his YouTube channel when you get a moment. Kyle Cash, good morning to you, sir. Stash Mod, I should say, excuse me. Stash Mod in the house. Stash Squad is always in the house. Christensen on the back. Not just yet. Not just yet. I've got a short list. Araujo, Gavi, Ansu. I could always go back to Dest. All right, I've done Dest the last 2 years as an American, but we'll see. Am I coming to the Camp Nou this season? Not going to make it there this year unless something wild happens this spring. Who knows? I'll say this. If I hit 10,000 followers this year, I'm going to the Camp Nou, okay? It's my high-end, lofty, I won't be upset if I don't get it, but it would be amazing if I did goal. We just hit 4,000. I think we can get to somewhere between 7 and optimistically 9,000 this year. But if we hit 10,000 followers, I'm going to the Camp Nou. I'm going back. My wife's probably hearing this in the other room like, no, we're not planning another vacation. But if I hit 10,000, we're doing it. We're doing it, folks. Omar, good morning to you. Chris E says, super excited for Pedri. I'm also interested in how Xavi uses Collado because he seems to really like him. I'm very curious about that. Very curious about that. Of course, went out on loan last year. We'll see if he sticks around this year. He's going to have a chance in some of these preseason matches in the U.S. here. I would be shocked if we didn't see Collado at least get a healthy chunk of playing time, if nothing else, to demonstrate to some other potentially interested clubs what he has to offer on the pitch. So good question. Like where your head's at. Bashab, good morning to you. Trincao coming back, same deal. I think Trincao is more than likely going to leave. I think Trincao is like the ultimate safety net. Let's say we can't sign Raphinha. Dembele doesn't accept the current contract offer. And we're like, okay, who's going to play right wing for us? I guess we still got Trincao sticking around. That's like last resort safety net would be Trincao. So I think Trincao will move on. Probably alone, but wouldn't be shocked if we sold him. But I don't think that's going to happen until we actually lock down who our right wing is going to be. Right now, it's Ferran Torres. It's Ansu, Ferran Torres, and Aubameyang to start centrally. That's my starting three if the season started today. That's what I'm going with. Memphis, of course, will slide in, get some playing time on the left or centrally. Who else? Who am I forgetting? Abde. I would bring up Abde. So right now, Trincao, Abde are two that are going to stick around until we figure out what's going on with Dembele, what's going on with Raphinha, and we'll get to those conversations here in just a few moments, my friends. Felipe says, what's up with Dest and pricing him at 20 million? I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it, okay? We'll jump into transfer rumors now, I think next year, because that seems to be what everybody's curious about, but I'm not buying it, folks, okay? There was, let's see, where do I want to jump to first? We'll bring up this one here, and we'll kind of we'll go reverse Uno. We'll go backwards on this. I was going to start with Frenkie De Jong and Chelsea rumors, but we'll kind of work our way backwards since somebody brought up Dest. So this is from Santiago Valle. Environments of both Frenkie De Jong and Serginho Dest say that the players want to stay at Barcelona. This is, of course, Barca Buzz quoting their source here. Listen, I feel like we can't go a day without Serginho Dest rumors. It's insane. It's been ever since he came to Barcelona. The rumors of Serginho Dest have been there. He doesn't want to go anywhere. If Chelsea, Bayern Munich, and others are so desperate to go for this young right back, why would we be so quick to sell him? It doesn't make any sense, okay? Frenkie De Jong is a very different situation, and that's where we'll jump over to this tweet here from Mr. Satan. 60 million plus Aspie plus Alonso for De Jong. That's not an offer, but the poll was put out. What do we think of this? I said no. I don't like it. I think it's a step backwards. We'd use that 60 million to get Koundé to shore up Lewandowski, and then we'd have Azpilicueta and Alonso, who are very much a win today, win this year or next type of move. I'm more in favor of building out for the future. I don't think giving up De Jong, who could be our center mid for the next 7 years, I don't think it's a smart move to give him up for two aging defenders and a chunk of change that we'll have to parlay into other players, okay? For me, Frenkie De Jong stays. I don't see any reason for why he can't be the perfect linchpin to hold down the midfield while Pedri and Gavi do their thing offensively. It doesn't make any sense to me. The fact that Xavi is so reliant on one player, being Sergio Busquets, to successfully implement his tactics, to me, that's a red flag. If Xavi can't get any other player in the world to successfully play the role of pivot in Xavi's 4-3-3, whose fault is that? In Xavi we trust. In Xavi we trust. Okay, I love Xavi. But, as I clear my throat, but name me a coach who can have a system that is so reliant on one player and that manager keeps their job. Show me that manager. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to jump the shark here, okay? In Xavi we trust all day long. We got to figure out that pivot role situation, all right? Very excited to see what Kessie does. I think a summer training camp for Frenkie De Jong, better understanding of that role, maybe a little bit more time this season. Maybe Busquets doesn't have to play every single match. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Maybe we start to see that turnover because I'm nervous. I'm nervous for what we do when Busquets retires if we don't figure out some other alternative in that pivot role. Okay? Just say it. Anyway, that continues on to my point now. We'll go over to Rashad Rahman. Says, Chelsea have told Barcelona regarding their interest. The English side believes that they have what it takes to sign Frenkie De Jong, meaning Champions League football. That's been a big deterrent for Frenkie going to United. No Champions League football. Yes, he'd be reunited with Ten Hag and some other Ajax players from his past, Donny van de Beek most notably. But if he goes to Chelsea and they sign De Ligt, same thing. He gets reunited with one of his former teammates. He gets Champions League football. He'll have a tremendous attack in front of him. Chelsea, again, looking to spend money to bolster, words. I know words. To better their attack, we'll say. So it could be. I don't see it happening. I can't see. Just if I close my eyes and I look into the future, I can't see Frenkie De Jong playing for Chelsea. Does anybody see it happening? I know practically, sure. Champions League, reunited with De Ligt if he also goes to Chelsea. But that's a stretch. That's a lot of ifs there. You know, I don't see it happening, folks. I really don't. I don't see this one happening. I think it's gonna be that he ends up staying. I think we're gonna have De Jong, Busquets, and Pedri with a healthy rotation from Gavi, Kessie, and Nico. That's a solid 6 midfielders, my friends. And as you saw this season, sometimes you need that many. Not even sometimes. Throughout the year, you do. You need that many. So Frenkie stays, hopefully. We'll see. Let me get caught up on the chat, see what questions you have. We still have a lot to cover here, folks. We're going to take a look at getting hair out of my mouth. We're going to look at we're going to look at Kessie. We're going to look at Christensen. We're going to talk about Gavi updates. We're going to talk about Nico updates. Who else? Lenglet and others. I got lots of tabs open here, folks. Plenty of things to discuss, but I want to turn to the chat. I want to answer your questions, see what's going on with you all. Michael Talks Football says, do you think Barca will sign both Dembele and Raphinha or just one of them? That's an excellent question, Michael. I think dreaming big dreams, we sign both. But I don't think it's going to happen. Because again, if you look at, well, let me back it up. If we sign both, which is a possibility, I don't think it's the likeliest possibility, but if we sign both, somebody's got to go, and it's probably going to be Memphis. If it's not Memphis, then any youngster who thought they were going to break through this season, Akamach, Abde, it ain't happening. Because we'll have Ansu, Aubameyang, Ferran Torres, Dembele, Raphinha, Memphis, and we could possibly sign Lewandowski too. That's 7 players. So Abde, Akamach, they'd have to either stay with Barca B, go out on loan. I'd rather maybe we only bring in one of them, which means maybe Memphis stays. I'm not a huge fan of getting rid of Memphis. Memphis, top goal scorer last year. Yes, Ansu was injured. Yes, to all the other reasons and excuses, yada, yada, yada. But Memphis, top goal scorer last year. He's creative on the ball. He gives us some physicality that we lack in the attack. So, I don't know. I think Raphinha and Dembele are almost too similar for us to go for both of them. At the same time, the direction that Barcelona seems to be going is to wipe themselves clean of any of the Coleman signings, meaning Memphis, and Serginho Dest, which makes me a little bit nervous, but he's not going anywhere. I digress. I don't think we need both. I would love a fresh start, get Raphinha in, have Dembele leave. But if that's not the case, if Dembele stays, I'm going to have to fresh start, forgive and forget, move on. I know I'm kind of rambling here. Yes or no, do I think we're going to sign both? No. I think we'll end up with one of them. We can dream dreams of getting both, and then Memphis would have to go, but I think we're only going to get one of them. That's my thought. Barca Fanatic, good morning to you, says Frenkie needs to have a pay cut because no matter how good he is he worth $20 million a season? I have some doubts. I'm with you on that one, Barca Fanatic. I'm not for players taking pay cuts on a regular occurrence. I don't want that to be the norm, but Barcelona in a very strange situation, very unique situation. Almost every other player that has been overpaid over the last few years has taken that pay cut or they've been shipped out. This could be Frenkie De Jong's time to do that. Now, he's a young player. He's got tremendous potential still to show on the pitch, so I could understand why he wants to keep that money. That is the contract at the end of the day. For me, if I'm Frenkie De Jong, I'm going to take a pay cut just to make everybody happy, right? Maybe I don't take it all the way down, but I'll take a pay cut. Just make everybody happy, everybody cool down, and then I come out and I own this season. I absolutely dominate, and I show Xavi and everybody else why it's a good thing that I stayed. That's what I'm doing if I'm Frenkie De Jong. Just going to try to meet him in the middle there and then see what happens. Sem says, Kessie and Frenkie double pivot? Potentially, but you could say Frenkie and Nico as a double pivot as well. It's just, does Xavi want to play with a double pivot? That's the question, folks. Okay, Frenkie can play it, Kessie can play it, Nico can play it, Busquets can also play a double pivot. Does Xavi want to play with a double pivot? That is the question. Can Xavi find the flexibility to fit in these superstars as they come in? Because like I said, it can't just be a Busquets or nothing. A Busquets or it all falls apart. That can't be the case. We got to do better than that. Erfan, good morning to you. Sahil says, you've forgotten Torre. It means 7 in total. I'm not quite counting Pablo Torre yet, and particularly not in the attack. He's going to be an attacking midfielder. At best, maybe we see him out on the wing in a Iniesta-type role where he slides back in, similar to what Gavi played on that left wing a few times last year. But I don't consider that a forward, I'll say. I don't mean to say attacker. I don't consider him a forward. He's an attacking midfielder. So didn't mean to leave him off the list, but I do appreciate you pointing that out, Sahil. Chris says, I'm desperate to hear the news on departures, especially Pjanic. Yes. Ricky Puig and Umtiti. We need to make room on the wage budget. I think I do have something here. Yes, I do, from Ricky Puig. Shouting out my man Pablo Wolz Blanco, up-and-coming Barcelona journalist. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, at PabloWBOfficial. Gives us this piece of news on Ricky Puig. Says, Barcelona intend to renew Ricky Puig for 2 more seasons, and the club will look for a loan move for him this season. It is thought that this season the player will earn a $3 million salary, and for the next 2 seasons it will be reduced to 2, I'm assuming 2.3 there. Okay. All right. So that's the latest on Ricky Puig. We're going to renew the contract, which means it's going to give him a little bit of time to still progress, still develop. We'll find a loan for him. I've seen rumors of Benfica. I've seen rumors of, who else was it? Was it Sporting? Or is that Trincao? Yeah, it's hard to keep up on all these and remember them. But Ricky Puig definitely does not have room in the midfield this year. With Busquets sticking around for another year, with Kessie coming in, with Nico and Gavi stepping up and just leapfrogging Ricky Puig, he's down, and Pablo Torre joining. Forget about it. Forget about it, you guys. Ricky Puig, he's got to find a new home. All right. I think we'll see if he goes loaned out somewhere and gets consistent playing time. That's his last chance, because he's been through 3 or 4 managers. I'm pretty sure he was around for Valverde, Setien, Coleman, and now Xavi. And if Xavi isn't seeing what he wants to see in Ricky Puig, I don't really have much faith. So last-ditch effort, last opportunity for Ricky Puig. Go out on loan, get consistent playing time week in, week out. Let's see what he does. For that to happen, according to Pablo, like I said, Barcelona going to sign him on a new 2-year deal. And then we'll see what happens. But let me know, where do you think Ricky Puig ends up if it's not going to be at Barcelona? I'm pretty sure he's on his way out. It's just getting too crowded in that midfield. Ayush, how we doing, sir? Good morning to you. So this is not a new kit, actually. I had to get my hair out of the way. This is not a new kit. This is, as I mentioned at the top of the show, this is the San Andres Iniesta kit from 2016-17 from the Camp Nou. Got to go and visit, spend 2 nights at the Camp Nou. Fantastic times. But yeah, I just haven't been wearing it lately. Haven't been doing any of my throwback kits. I have Iniesta. I have, of course, Ronaldinho and Puig up there. I have a Xavi jersey. Who else do I have? That's about it. But I have a few throwback jerseys that I need to bust out for special occasions. In the first year or two on live streaming, that's when I wore those. But now it's all about wearing the up-to-date kits, which, speaking of, I do need to decide who's going to be on my home kit. I mentioned the new number 8, Pedri, getting him on the away kit, but I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking Araujo. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm very tempted by Ansu Fati. I'm very tempted by Gavi. And I just don't know. But home kit, away kit, third kit, and then there's a rumored new Catalonia kit coming out. So we'll see what happens with that. I might save Gavi for that one. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Felipe says Pjanic is talking to Olympique Lyon. I would love it. I think Umtiti is also looking at some French teams, but everyone's curious about his health. Everyone is curious about his health. Let me see what of these I can knock out here. Speaking of departures, we'll do a little update on Lenglet here. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Apparently, we are just waiting the medical clearance. Tottenham are set to sign Clement Lenglet from Barcelona. Here we go. We got the here we go from Fabrizio here. Loan deal agreed, valid until June 2023. So 1-year loan deal. Lenglet already accepted last week. Personal terms agreed. Club still in contact on final details. There's no option to buy clause included as of now. So loan deal. We'll see what happens at the end of that. I know I just saw this morning that the medical still needs to be passed, but it is going to be farewell to Clement Lenglet. Ups and downs, hots and colds for this player. I mean, he had one excellent season, and the other ones were just a combination of mistakes and bad luck. You got to say some of these were bad luck. I have a few memories of Lenglet just literally accidentally stepping on somebody's heel for a penalty and this and that. So unlikely. There's a handball in there that was ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, my hair's ridiculous right now. I need to get some product in there. It's very frizzy. Anyway. So that's Lenglet. Speaking of departures, we'll get that one out of the way. Let's see what else we got going. Okay, Gavi contract. A lot of people are saying that he's going to be announced, or I should say his new contract will be announced on his birthday coming up in August. Listen, if I'm gonna speculate, I think Joan Laporta is gonna keep this one in his back pocket for some good news that he can break out for Barcelona fans on a rainy day. All right, we still got a lot of things up in the air. Raphinha, Dembele, Koundé, Lewandowski. There's a lot up in the air that Barcelona fans are excited about, but hasn't come into fruition yet. And I know Laporta does not want to go into this season on a down note. So I'm thinking the reason why this is delayed, 1, could be tied with announcing it on Gavi's birthday, but 2, like I said, could be a rainy day little piece of sunshine for Culers from Joan Laporta. But this is from Barca Buzz. It says Gavi will sign his contract renewal after returning home from his vacations on July 11th. Complete agreement has been finally reached for a renewal until 2026 with a salary a bit lower than Araujo. Release clause will be 1 billion euros. That's insane, but I'm cool with it. No more Neymar situations where a PSG or somebody of the like comes in with a bag full of cash. You're going to have to pay 1 billion euros if you want Ansu, Gavi, Pedri, Araujo. You want any of our dream team, you're going to have to pay us 1 billion euros. One of them will be bought for 1 billion euros. It'll happen. It'll happen, folks. By 2026, 4 years from now, it'll happen. There was a time when we thought 222 million for Neymar was insane. We thought that's untouchable. Nobody's going to pay that. You just wait. You just wait. Somebody's going to pay it. It's going to happen. I promise. Anyway, let's see what else. We'll get to that maybe in a second. We talked about Pedri. We talked about the young possibly going to Chelsea. We dispelled any Dest rumors. All right, let's welcome Christensen officially. Andres Christensen. This was cute. I really enjoyed this. He had a note from when he was 8 years old in 2004, which is insane. I was already 16 by then. But I digress. Christensen saying, I dream about being a Barcelona professional footballer and playing, I dream about being a professional footballer and playing for words. Sometimes words don't come out, folks, and that's okay. You just drink a little caffeine and we try it again. I dream about being a professional footballer and playing for FC Barcelona. Boom, nailed it. Yes, boom. Andres Christensen, that was him as an 8-year-old in 2004. I'm very excited for this guy. I know that there are some reports about him having some anxiety here and there, but I think what we're going to see is him really find himself at Barcelona. There's something that happens when players go to their dream clubs, okay? So he showed signs of his potential at Chelsea. I think he's really going to come into fruition here at Barcelona. I'm very excited for his future, and our center back lineup is looking quite strong, okay? PK's probably on his last leg. I don't think he is going to be around for a full campaign. I think there's going to be long stretches without PK, but we got PK. We got Araujo. We got Garcia, who I think are going to be our main starters this year. Then we have Christensen. We also have Mingueza hanging around. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody. Araujo, Garcia, PK, Christensen. Who am I forgetting? I'm drawing a blank. I feel like there's a big name that I'm forgetting. Lenglet's going. Umtiti's going. Mingueza's probably going to go out on loan. Who am I forgetting? There was a fifth. PK, Garcia, Araujo, Christensen. Am I just having a brain fart? Am I misremembering this? That's it, right? That's all of them? Pretty sure that's all of them. Right? I'm overthinking this now. I'm totally overthinking this. Anyway, we'll move on. I'm excited for Christensen. I don't think he's going to start. He's not going to be our primary starter. Okay, that's going to be Araujo. That's going to be Garcia. It's going to be PK when he's fit. But Christensen will get plenty of playing time. He'll probably be one of those guys that starts in the Copa del Rey, runs through that tournament. And we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, very excited for his future. Speaking of futures, we also announced and presented the signing of Frank Kessie. This is a tweet from Tony Juan Martí quoting the midfielder. I'm going to try it in Spanish here. We'll see what happens. Soy un jugador que trabaja mucho, que lo da todo en el campo. Cuando te llama un entrenador como Xavi, ves que todos los esfuerzos merecen la pena. Mi ídolo, that's how you say it, mi ídolo es Yaya Torre. So for those of you that don't speak perfect Spanish like I do, What he's saying there is, I am a player who works hard, who gives everything on the pitch. When a coach like Xavi calls you, you see that all your efforts are worth it. My idol is Yaya Toure. Yeah. I won't do the whole thing, but you guys know what I'm saying there. I love that chant. Yaya Toure, Colo Toure. One of my favorite football chants of all time. Anyway, Kessie, excited for this guy. Big, physical, midfield presence. He can pass, he can dribble, he can shut down the counterattacks. I really do see him as, I'll say, I was going to compare him to Yaya Toure, but he's not. I don't want to put those expectations on him. So let me pull that one back in. Okay, I'm not going to put those expectations on him. Similar to Christensen, it'll be a role player. There'll be some opportunities to start. Most likely, Copa del Rey will be his primary playing time, but he'll get some La Liga matches. He'll be rotated in at the end of matches when we're trying to just hold on to the lead, get our 3 points, and move on. That'll be Kessie's role. So I'm excited for him. It's going to be a great supplemental player, and who knows? Maybe he outperforms expectations. Maybe he does slide in and steal that role from Frenkie De Jong, and it becomes Pedri, Gavi, Kessie in the future. I don't expect that to happen, but some people who have watched Kessie play have high expectations. So let me know your thoughts on what you're expecting from Kessie as he joins Barcelona. I'll turn to the chat, get caught up on things, see what your reactions are, what questions you have. And of course, again, if you're watching this on replay, let me know down in the comments. We'll keep the conversation going. And of course, if you're enjoying the content, whether you're watching it live or on replay, take just a moment, drop a like. Really does help support the channel. Easiest way for you to support the channel and keep things going here. So thank you very much for tuning in and taking a ride and hanging out with me. Drop a like, subscribe, all those things, as I get caught up on the chat here. Fire says, it was back in time. His 2021 season was insane. I forget who we were talking about there. Maybe Christensen. Culers, how we doing, sir? Good morning to you. Says late, but showered up, Stash Squad. Night crew sucks. Sorry, Culers, but glad you're here, buddy. Good morning to you. Hollow the Reaper is with us. Hello. Says, I think Kessie's role will change throughout the season. He's really, really underrated player, like when Paulinho came. Good shout out. I love the comparison. People didn't think he would have the impact or importance that he did. Absolutely. Got him for $50 million, and we were like, what are we doing? Ended up coming in, being a tremendously impactful player. Again, didn't start all the time, but lots of opportunities off the bench to help Barcelona get points, move through tournaments. I liked what Paulinho brought to the club. I think similar expectations, I would say. Come in with low expectations, and I think Kessie will outperform those expectations. I think it'll be good. Ryan Scott says, I think Kessie will start smaller games for La Liga. Agreed. I'm thinking La Liga. I'm thinking Copa del Rey. That's where we're going to see most of Kessie's time. All right. We've talked about a lot so far. A couple more things we want to go over. We can do a little Raphinha update. How about that? Latest from Fabrizio Romano says Raphinha deal could move quickly. Leeds manager Jesse Marsch, shout out to America, says Raphinha returned to training today. Good attitude. Wouldn't commit to him being in Australia with things capable of moving quickly in the next few days. What he's referring to there, as we jump over to Barca Center, saying that there is a new offer for the Brazilian winger. Barca have sent their final offer to Leeds for Raphinha. They hope to sign him for $55 million plus bonuses, and they are optimistic. That is only 5 million euros less than what Chelsea have offered and accepted from Leeds. 60 million euro offer, but the player, Raphinha, not interested in going to Chelsea. If Leeds accepts this 55 million, which fingers crossed, I hope they do, as Jesse Marsch said and Fabrizio Romano reported, things could move quickly. Raphinha could be joining Barcelona for this summer tour in the U.S. We could see him wearing the Blaugrana kit for the very first time in just a few weeks. I think it's going to happen, and that, for me, puts Dembele out on the wing, no pun intended, and I don't think Barcelona go for him from there. So I think Raphinha. I think Lewandowski. I think De Jong stays. I'm not so sure that we get Koundé. I'm not so sure about that, okay? But that's what I'm thinking. Raphinha, yes. Lewandowski, yes. De Jong, yes. Dembele, no. Probably Koundé, no. Probably Koundé, no. Let me know your thoughts, my friends. What are we thinking? Ayush coming in hard with the player emojis. Still one of the... You've contributed so much to this channel, Ayush. Shout out to everything that you've done. One of my favorite things that you've done is those player emojis. I didn't think they were going to be so incredible, so amazing when you told me the idea. Speaking of outperforming, those have been absolutely fantastic. So shout out to Ayush for putting together all those player emojis. If you haven't used them yet, exclamation point plus a player. It's all of the current players. We'll have to update it for this year. It's all of the current players. There might be a legend or two in there as well. So make sure you make use of that. And again, shout out to Ayush for putting those together. Kuda says Dembele is coming back to haunt you for Dembele Cam. Yes, of course. For those of you that are familiar with the channel, this is Dembele Cam. Anytime we discuss Dembele, we have to take the color out of the room, like he took the joy out of watching him play by having such a poor, selfish attitude during contract negotiations back in January. I stood up for Dembele time and time again, saying, just wait. I know, one more injury, but just wait. One more injury, but just wait. And then he comes back and goes, hey, I know I've been injured for 4.5 of the 5 years that I've been at Barcelona, but why don't you go ahead and pay me as if I was not injured, as if I performed like I was expected to and put up Mbappe type numbers. Go ahead and pay me that kind of salary. Wrong. Not going to happen, Dembele, okay? We've calmed things down from there, but he's still not willing to accept a reasonable contract offer. So bring in Raphinha, let Dembele do his thing. Again, if he signs a reasonable offer, which is the one that is currently on the table for like 6 million euros per year, okay, you sign that, I will consider it a clean slate, a fresh start. We'll move on from there. We will still be using Dembele Cam. Just saying. My goodness. Utkal says, I want Raphinha, Lewa, and then Koundé in that order. I'm going to go Lewa, Raphinha, Koundé, but I don't hate your list. Kudus, you started it. You pulled that ripcord, buddy. Okay? That is your fault. You take responsibility for that. Just saying. All right. Folks, I think that is going to do it. All right? We've caught up on a lot of things. We talked De Jong to Chelsea. We've talked Azpilicueta and Alonso coming the other way. We gave an update on Christensen and Kessie being presented, officially signed by Barcelona. We talked Raphinha. We talked Gavi contract. Covered a lot of things in this episode. So I appreciate you all hanging out with me. I'm glad to be back from a nice little vacation. Got some good time with the family, but it's good to be back to a regular schedule, which means we'll be live again Monday morning right here on the Undefeated channel. Probably not a lot of business between now and then, but we got a full day here. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But we'll be live Monday for more Barcelona news and some good conversation with my fellow Culers. Again, make sure you drop a like before you go if you're enjoying the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will see you Monday for Wake Up in Barca. All right? I want you to go out, have a wonderful day, enjoy your weekends, high fives and hugs to whoever wants them. I love you all very much. Thank you for tuning in and taking a ride. Mwah.